Hey guys, my name is Ijustdie and welcome to part 1 of solo lane matchups. With the help of Flores, or Fleur-Z, Tarbek and Killer Blaziken, I have compiled a list of solo lane matchups, which I am now presenting to you so you can learn how to counterpick your opponent. So the first god on this list is Amaterasu. Amaterasu is a late game warrior, which means that you mostly pick her for the team fights, where she will be very strong. However, to pay for that, Amaterasu has a really weak early game, making her vulnerable to many of the lane bullies, like Cuchulainn, Erlang Shen, Osiris, Odin and Bellona. Another way to counter her is to pick a god with displacement, like a Hercules, because you can mess up a wave clear by displacing her. I would not pick Tyr into her, because Amaterasu can interrupt his dash with her own dash. Aphrodite. Aphrodite can be set behind and lane by most warriors, just by outpressuring her. However, gods with anti-heal in their kit are especially good against her, like an Osiris, an Odin, a Sobek or a Cuchulainn. If you're playing against an Aphrodite, you can also get your jungler to set her even further behind. So as an Aphro, it's really important that you ward the jungle to spot out ganks. RTO. The proper way to counter an RTO is you ban her out. RTO does not lose lane to anyone. She will outclear you, outdamage you and also outsustain you. She's hard to gank, has insane team fights in mid game and she can easily solo her opponent. If she was balanced, you would probably counter her with gods with anti-heal such as Cuchulainn and Osiris, but she isn't. Just ban her out. Athena. If you're against an Athena, you will most likely have pressure. Athena really isn't that dominant in the solo lane, she's dominant with her global rotations. When playing against an Athena, you should accept that she will outrotate you, and that's not a problem. If you pick any lane bully, you will probably get her behind in lane, unless you have abilities that she can interrupt. Good picks against her would be Osiris, Cuchulainn and Hercules, because she cannot interrupt their abilities. Especially Osiris, because if Athena rotates, then the Osiris can just split push her tower. For that reason, other auto-attack warriors like Erlang Shen and Bellona are also good against her. Just be careful that she doesn't interrupt your abilities. Bakasura. A Bakasura's main strength lies in securing jungle camps. It's not unlikely that a Bakasura will start in the jungle because he won't lose a lot of farm if he secures his blue first. He will have a hard time in lane against a Bellona and an Osiris just because he will never be able to box them. Tyr is a different story. Tyr can do insane amounts of damage against squishies and will also CC a long duration of the butcher blades, therefore making him unable to clear. All three gods can also ult out of the Bakasura ult, rendering Bakasura useless for most of the game. Bellona. Bellona will most likely outclear every other warrior for the first few levels. The main way to play into her though is to interrupt the bludgeon, with gods like Hercules, Sun Wukong, Xingqian or Sobek. Hercules should then be able to outclear her, while the Sun Wukong and the Xingqian can just farm up till late game, where they will outscale her. Xingqian also hurts her because he has the auto-attack damage reduction. Cabrakan. Cabrakan relies a lot on his tremors, so to counter him you simply have to pick a god that can interrupt his tremors, including, but not limited to, Tyr, Hercules, Erlang Shen, Vamana, Sun Wukong, Amaterasu, Hades, Xingqian, Sobek and more. Just keep in mind that every ability you use on the Cabrakan you can no longer use on the wave. Chalk. An old stigma around Chalk is that you will win lane but lose the game. This is referring to the fact that Chalk can clear wave easily, but he gets outshined in late game. While his late game is not terrible, having an enormous silence and slow, Much of his strength lies in early game rotation and having an ult on a short cooldown. Probably the most efficient way to counter a Chak is to have anti-heal and to outscale him in late game. Therefore, a Cuchulainn, who also does well in lane, would be good, but also a Sobek if you can get through the early game. Changa. Now Changa probably won't win lane against any of the warriors. Her base health is just so low that she can easily get soloed if she tries to pressure her opponent. If you're playing against the Changa, just pick a warrior who doesn't get counted by anti-heal, and you should be fine. An honorable mention is also to Odin, because while she can immune Bird Bomb, if you use your abilities apart from each other, she won't counter you as much, and she cannot escape the Odin cage, making her pretty much dead meat every time you have it up. Cuchulainn. Cuchulainn doesn't have any real counters. He is really strong right now and there is no god that specifically counters his kit. But there are two ways that you can play into a Cuchulainn. Cuchulainn has insane early game fighting potential, but you can fight into it if you get a Bellona or an Osiris. You just need to give up lane every time he transforms and try to fight him while his transformation is down. The other way to play into him is to play passive. If you get a god like Nike, who's clear he cannot interrupt, you will most likely still lose lane. But if you can just keep it somewhat even when you get to the late game, you will just outscale him because you are better in teamfights. A third option to counter the Cuchulainn is to play Cabrakan. Now personally, I don't see how Cabrakan counters Cuchulainn, but I know that a lot of solo laners, including Xaylia, like to play Cabrakan into Cuchulainn, so you can try it out for yourself and see if it works. Erlang Shen. Erlang Shen is really good at early game fighting because he has a lot of damage, but also because he has a lot of sustain from his death stall, which gets procced twice. His auto attack damage is split up into 4 ticks though, so if you get Mark of the Vanguard as a second starter, you will have 4 times the effectiveness of it. He gets countered by Xingqian because Xingqian has auto attack reduction and outskills him in late game, by Artio because Artio can just outclear him, outsustain him, and the cripple can stop a large part of his clear, and Sun Wukong is a good pick against him as well, just because Sun Wukong is such a safe pick. Guan Yu. Guan Yu has a lot of damage. Unfortunately, all of that damage is in his Tallow Assault and in his ultimate. Therefore, if you pick a god that can interrupt his Tallow Assault, you should be fine. Hercules and Hades are good picks if you want a snowball, but he will eventually outscale you in late game. Amaterasu won't win lane as hard, but she will outscale him in late game, therefore making her a better pick if you want that late game. And finally, Hades. Hades is great at snowballing, but he's hard to play from behind. Therefore, it's not unlikely that a Hades will be camped by the jungler. He also relies a lot on his healing, which gets countered by healing reduction. Sobek is a good pick against him if you want your jungler to camp your lane. However, if you want to beat the Hades lane alone, you're probably better off with the Cuchulainn. And a third counter would be Sun Wukong. Not only because Sun Wukong has 2 ways to escape the Hades ult, but also because Hades really wants to snowball. As a Sun Wukong, one of the safest gods in the solo lane, you can deny the snowball and therefore win lane. And that was all I got for part 1 of the solo lane matchups. I want to give a shout out to the solo laners that helped me set up this list. You can check those links in the description down below. My name is Ijustdie. I hope you liked this video. I hope you subscribe. I hope you share it with your solo lane friends so they can make an attempt to suck less. And I will see you all in the next video.